Good evening from Tucson. A taste of Cascadia here in the southern desert. It's Portland against Seattle. Welcome to Kino Sports Complex alongside Matt Gash. I'm Matt Peterson. After the afternoon game in which Houston Dynamo defeated San Jose Earthquakes 3-1, we have a preseason meetings against these longtime rivals. Seattle and Portland, their second game here in Tucson. Both teams getting a win in their first on Wednesday. In the first game on Wednesday, a 2-1 Seattle win over the San Jose Earthquakes, and then Portland got two late goals to beat the Houston Dynamo 2-0. Matt, you're obviously much more familiar with this rivalry than I am, but what are you sort of expecting tonight?
Well, when you look at the lineups, I mean, you'll see two teams that are as close to a starting 11 as you'll see in preseason, at least this early in a preseason. Portland's playing without Diego Valeri at this point, and Seattle without Clint Dempsey and Marco Papa. But these are two very strong sides, and they're never going to pull any punches against each other. It's a long-standing rivalry. There's coaches on both sides that have been part of it for a long time. It's going to be interesting, and both teams wearing green today as well, so we're ready to rock and roll.
And of course, they met last year in the Western Conference playoffs. Portland, their first time in the postseason, besting their northern rivals. Let's go right to the lineups. We'll start with the men in the darker shade of green, Portland Timbers. Donovan Ricketts is in goal, the back four from right to left. Jack Jewsbury, Norberto Paparotto, their recent signing from Argentina, signed in January. Pamudica partners with Paparotto, and then Michael Harrington, fresh off a January national team camp, 28-year-old, is the left back. Two holding mids, Will Johnson and Khalif Al-Hassan. Of course, Johnson, a best 11 selection last year after being traded from Real Salt Lake. And a dynamic partnership through the middle. Darlington Nagbe, Diego Chara, and Gaston Fernandez, who looked very good against the Dynamo in his 30-minute shift on Wednesday night. He, along with Paparotto, came over from Argentina in January. Max Cerruti, a young 22-year-old traded late last season. He'll be the man up front. He scored a goal against the Dynamo on Wednesday. Just about set for kickoff. Portland in their shade of green, of course, the Seattle Sounders in their rave green. And we are underway from Tucson. You see the man without a number on his shirt, Kenny Cooper. No numbers for Seattle, so we'll have to rely on recognition. We got Matt Gash here, though, so a man that knows that team.
Cooper, the former Timber, getting a chance to run out against his former team here with Seattle.
Marcus Hahnemann, 41 years of age now, Seattle native, great career over in Europe, most recently Everton. And a bit of a goalkeeper competition here in the preseason, Matt.
Yeah, he and Stefan Fry really going to battle. Stefan took a little knock at the end of the last game. Seattle's given him an extra day to recover from that one. Hoping to have him ready for tomorrow's match against the Vancouver Whitecaps.
Let's give you the Seattle Sounders lineup here tonight. We mentioned Hahnemann in goal, the back four from right to left. DeAndre Yedlin, fresh off his first cap a week ago against South Korea as a substitute. Seattle getting forward. Brad Evans gives it to Will Johnson. Ozzie Alonso wins it right back. The rest of that lineup, Jimmy Traore partners with Chad Marshall, acquired in the offseason in a trade with Columbus. And then Dylan Remick, the 22-year-old out of Brown University. So a free kick here to Seattle. A few standing over it. Ozzie Alonso, Brad Evans, and Lamar Nagel. Nagel got a contract extension in the offseason. Beautiful setting here at Kino Sports Complex. Sun setting behind the West Grandstand. The Alonso or Nagel to take this one. About 30 yards from goal. Chad Marshall nearly got to it, but it's a goal kick to Portland. The rest of that Seattle Sounders lineup. Tristan Bowen traded to Seattle from Chivas, part of that Mauro Rosales deal. Bowen is the starting right mid. Center mids Ozzie Alonso and Brad Evans. And then Lamar Nagel on the left side. Two up front, Obafemi Martins and Kenny Cooper. And as we talked about in the first broadcast, Matt, Martins was quite a handful on Wednesday against San Jose.
Absolutely, and he gets himself into those spots that in a lot of ways like Wondolowski, where he gets himself in position to score those goals and scores them. But the one thing he has that Wando doesn't is that ability to maybe create a lot of opportunities for himself and his teammates. Whereas Wando, for all of his talents, is as opportunistic as they come, getting into the right spots at the right times.
And he was opportunistic earlier today, scored the opening goal against Houston. His first game back. Good run down the left side. And he picked up the pieces after a good save from Tyler Derrick. After Shea Salinas made the run. Here comes Seattle down this left side, but too far in front of Nagel. A lot of green out there, Matt.
Yeah, a lot of green. As soon as the sun sets, it might be a little bit more difficult to tell the difference between the two shades, but we'll just go by shorts.
For those with the stream at home, it might be a little fuzzy. If there's a number on the back, he plays for Portland. If there's no number on the back, he's a Sounder. Good crowd here at Kino Sports Complex. Seen a lot of rain in Tucson the last few days. Our first look at Tristan Bowen. Working with Kenny Cooper. Hard challenge from Ka, as you've come to expect. Johnson wide, Al Hassan. Johnson scored the opening goal against Houston on Wednesday night, one of his patented late runs into the area, and a good setup, and he put it away.
We talked about players developing in the last game. Johnson, you saw him in such a reserved role with Salt Lake. He was a very vital piece to what Real Salt Lake did. And once he went to Portland, he really opened up and became more a focal point to everything they do. And he's really responded well and shown exactly why he was thought of so highly by Portland in the early going.
Harrington back for Will Johnson. Rest of the captain's armband from Jack Dewsbury. There's Max Cerruti. Scored the second goal on Wednesday night in Portland's 2-0 win over the Dynamo. Khalif Al Hassan near the corner. Decent delivery past Yedlin. Nagby gets there, but the flag comes up on this near side. It's a throw-in to Seattle. Gaston Fernandez was quite the playmaker on Wednesday night, playing that final third. And speaking of thirds, we'll have 3 30-minute periods here tonight, a 5-minute break between the end of the first and the start of the second, as well as the end of the second and the start of the third. They'll swap sides after 45 minutes, but no real break. So 3 30-minute periods here in Tucson. Gaston Fernandez, great delicate first touch, but a good tackle. Jimmy Traore concede the corner, but you see the skill of Gaston Fernandez.
Really start to wonder how he's going to pair with Diego Valeri. Both of them play so well with the ball at their feet. Very dangerous if they figure out a way to find that chemistry.
30-year-old Gaston Fernandez set to deliver the corner kick for the Timbers. Run by Nagel, able to keep it in. And Nagel draws a free kick at midfield.
Nagel did his best there to fight off Darlington Nagbe. Nagbe not to be denied, but gets called for the foul in the end.
Both Fernandez and Paparano, the Argentine, sort of a package deal in some ways, but interesting description of the courtship from Caleb Porter. Called it an interview down there in Argentina. You know, it's a two-way street. Both the player and the team and the system have to work out, but rave reviews from both Fernandez and Paparazzo of the infrastructure in Portland and across MLS.
And a lot of that comes from Diego Valeri, because he came to this league, and if he didn't buy in right away and kind of really understand the direction of the league, and I don't know that this move happens, because he's, you know, they talk. I mean, players talk when they're from similar countries, and they know a lot of the same people, same agents, things like that. And when a player like Diego Valeri says, yes, this is legit, you're going to come here and you're going to have an opportunity to play a very competitive league, that means something. And the way Valeri not only bought in that regard, but has been such a good teammate for this Portland team is huge.
Here's Max Arruti wide to Fernandez. A saving touch at the last moment by Dylan Remick, and it's a goal kick to Seattle. That whole sequence started a good win at the back by Kaw, and led the counterattack.
And that's what he does so well. Is he can be dangerous in tackles at times, but when he's on his game, when he's got his timing right, he's so good at winning that ball back for Portland.
Bowen all the way across the field to win that. Now it's Cooper into 3 dark green shirts. Portland back the other way. Here's Michael Harrington. Now Nagbe. And it's a Portland throw-in. Harrington for Fernandez. Tries to turn, but he runs into Traore. It's a goal kick to Seattle. Now they're exchanging a few words, Traore and Gaston Fernandez.
Curious what language that exchange is being spoken in.
Traore, of course, well-traveled. Harrington working against Nagels, now switched on this side for the moment, with Bowen on the far side. Hahnemann off his line to send it forward. Nagbe. DeAndre Yedlin came on late in that 2-0 win for the United States against South Korea. It's his first cap at 20 years of age. So much hope from Seattle and all U.S. men's national team fans. Here's Yedlin against Harrington in the camp together down in Brazil. Good service towards the back post, and it's headed wide. Obafemi Martins. Good chance there for the Sounders.
Nice build up. Kenny Cooper leads Yedlin up the right side, and DeAndre shows what he does so well, just taking someone on 1v1, gets that cross in, goes just wide for Martins.
Just enough space from Yedlin against Harrington, and a pretty clear header. Martins now 29, 39 appearances for Nigeria. A great season with Levante before a lot of people were surprised by the big coup Sounders a year ago.
And he, speaking of buying in, he comes to America after his contract is completed, and within a few hours is playing for Seattle against the Portland Timbers.
Good win moments ago from Chad Marshall at midfield. Now Portland back in possession. Good turn, Khalif Al-Hassan. Forward, Arruti. Gaston Fernandez. Two-time MLS Defender of the Year, Chad Marshall. Sort of the face of Columbus Crew over the last few seasons. Up to win a championship back in 2008.
He was the last remaining piece from that championship team before the trade. He and Andy Grunebaum, I think, the last 2 remaining last season, in addition to the winger, which is Eddie Gavin.
I was going to say,
Thank you.
yeah. A lot of familiarity, though, Siggy Schmidt. He acquired Moffitt last season from Houston, Another part of that championship team. Marshall comes over in the offseason as Columbus sort of rebuilds under Greg Berhalter. Gaston Fernandez set for this delivery. Strong header out by Marshall. So dominant in the air. Been slowed down a little bit by his concussions, but a new opportunity now with Seattle.
Absolutely, and he's missed very few games over the last few years, despite these injuries, and he's kind of gotten a reputation for being injury prone, and they're ready. He says he's ready, and this is the first off season in quite some time that he hasn't had to have some sort of cleaning out surgery, so to speak.
Paparazzo. Martins claims it for Seattle. Kenny Cooper, good win from Ka. Leaves the arm in there afterward to give Cooper a little extra contact. I think a good story, Harrington. You know, part of that deep defensive group in Kansas City, couldn't really find a place on the fields. Moves from Kansas City to Portland and has really made the most of his opportunity.
And he got rewarded for that as well, going to the national team camp. But good opportunity for him, very positive experience, but ended in disappointment as he wasn't able to get that for that cap. But in the end, as he's told the media since then, it was a positive experience, and it's been a while since he's been involved at any level with the national team, but was very prominent at the youth level, and he's looking to get back into the mix with Jurgen Klinsmann's side.
Martins. Somehow maintained possession despite a flurry of Portland defenders nearby. Again, Portland in the dark green, Seattle in the rave green. These teams met back in November. Western Conference playoffs.
Portland's fans reminding Seattle the final score in that Western Conference semifinal series with an overhead display before the game. Not too many fans in this league are going to be making tifo displays for preseason games. But good work by the Portland fans here tonight.
Good tackle, Jimmy Chiore. Ensuring a Portland throw-in. Here's Al Hassan. It's a great experience down here for anyone considering a future trip. Here, Charleston, Orlando, Portland as well. Here comes Ricketts off his line. He heads it to safety. The big Jamaican, now 36. Still good instincts.
Another good year for him last year. He gets to balls that you don't expect him to be able to get to, and very talented player. And that ball is not typical of Donovan Ricketts, but typical in the sense that you don't expect him to run out and chase that one down.
16 minutes gone, scoreless. Portland and Seattle here in the preseason from Tucson. He's Matt Gash, I'm Matt Peterson. Delighted to be here on a gorgeous night from Kino Sports Complex. Patient build-up from the Timbers. Norberto Paparano, Club Atletico Tigre. His last club in Argentina. Good audience here tonight. 4,000 viewers on MLSsoccer.com. Welcome. 28 days from opening day in Major League Soccer, March 8th.
Also want to give a shout out to the folks at the Market Arms and the Georgian Dragon in Seattle, the viewing parties there in Seattle for this preseason match.
Fantastic. Here's Darlington Nagbe for an overlapping Harrington. Good service towards the back post, but headed clear by Remick.
Remick's really come along this preseason. Leo Gonzalez out with a groin injury, had surgery in the offseason, and Remick stepped in and really established himself as a guy who's going to contend for playing time this year.
Good change of speed from Darlington Nagbe. In the end, the shot is wide. So much potential for Darlington Nagbe. It's been said so many times, but still at an age where his ceiling remains high. 23, Nagbe. Norberto takes charge in the back. You can see the size on Norberto. It's another advantage of these preseason trips, Matt. You really get a close view to the field. You can hear the communication, as we talked about in the Houston-San Jose game, but interesting to hear the languages spoken.
And thus far for Paparado and Gaston Fernandez, from what I've been told, language hasn't been an issue for them. They've made the transition very smoothly to this team and communicating with their teammates, whether it's through Spanish or you know, picking up little bits of English here and there.
Here's Remick, good first touch, gets it back from Nagel. Remick and Paparado concedes a throw-in.
With Remick on the left and DeAndre Yedlin on the right, there's so much speed coming out of the back with Seattle. Now you throw Nagel and Bowen into the midfield. There's speed to burn all up the flanks.
Johnson targeting Nagbe, one here by Yedlin. Modified that haircut for his national team camp. Just wanted to make a good first impression. Remick 2 assists already this preseason, a Brown University product. A draft choice, second round pick in the 2013 draft by the Sounders. A switching ball by Evans. Good first touch, Nagel. Jewsbury out to defend. And a goal kick to the Timbers.
Nagel's now in his third stint with the Sounders. He originally signed with the team in 2009 out of UNLV. Couldn't stick with the team out of training camp in 2010, went and played in Charleston, and then briefly in Finland as well. Came back, played in 2011, was traded in 2012 to Montreal, played 1 year there. Back in Seattle in 2013, and now on a new contract with the Sounders.
Good track record, Charleston under Mike Anhauser. Of course, Ozzie Alonso, well-documented story. But Nagel, another Battery product.
Alex Kasky as well, another Sounder that has played under Mike Anhauser.
Big spill that time from Yedlin. He was caught underneath by Fernandez, and now Marshall back to Hahnemann. Here's Ka against Martins. Strong header from Ka, won by Evans. Tristan Bowen, former Chivas USA man. Now it's Evans. Lost his footing, maintains possession. Now Bowen with some space against Harrington. 3 in the area. Targeting Nagel. Nagel heads it down. Good recovery at the last moment by Jewsbury. Nagel's header was bound for Cooper or Martins, if not for Jewsbury's intervention. Here's a Rudy. Wins a free kick for the Timbers.
Great first touch by Bowen to get that ball wide out on the right side, with Harrington coming at him as well.
Here's another look at the...
Great stop there by Jack Jewsbury to keep that ball from getting dangerous.
Pretty even through 23 minutes, Matt. About what you'd expect from these teams. Good anticipation that time by Diego Chara. Now Alonso tries to win it back. In the end, it's Nagbe. So calm with the ball at his feet. And a good, well, I thought Alonso might get away with it, but in the end, the referee awards a free kick to Portland, and Nagbe down in some pain. Wily veteran Ozzy Alonso, they know, just how far you can go with the hip. But this time, the referee right there and sides with Nagbe. Good run from Darlington from the near side. Will Johnson set to take it. Gaston Fernandez took the majority of the set pieces late in the Houston game. Probably the A group you would call it, the final 30 minutes, but this is Johnson territory for the moment. Here's Johnson, right into the wall. Back wide to Harrington. Not too far in front. That's a Sounders throw-in. Khalif Al-Hassan didn't get enough of it. One in the midfield by Brad Evans. Now Alonso. Tristan Bowen. Thought he had Yedlin, but Nagbe there to win it for Portland. Back the other way. Darlington Nagbe. And it's just past Hahnemann who let it go for a goal kick. Veteran move there from Hahnemann.
And Nagbe showing no ill effects from the tackle from moments ago. Good effort on the shot, but just wide.
Here's another look, Nagbe through the middle.
Hahnemann's got that post covered. Lets it go at the last moment.
And now a free kick to Seattle. Maybe a yellow card coming here. We have Evans down. And Kahn's going to be booked here in the 26th minute. We said in the first game, if you're going to get a yellow card in preseason, you're going to earn it. Now the Seattle players calling the training staff onto the field.
You see David Estrada warming up on the side.
Evans, of course, Matt, a great 2013 for him with the national team, getting an opportunity, really making the most of his opportunity at right back.
Good traveling group there from Seattle.
It was discussed during the camp, Matt, about the sort of unique position for Brad Evans, being a teammate of DeAndre Yedlin, both in the camp, and the guy was sort of the starting role, sort of mentoring the guy that, you know, might be trying to take his job at some point.
And DeAndre Yedlin, I spoke with him the other day when they got back from national team camp on Wednesday night. And he said he couldn't have asked for a better person to mentor him in that role, because Brad knows that he's got his own best interests out there, but he's not going to do anything at the expense of his teammate.
Here's the service from Alonso, targeting Marshall. It's past him and a goal kick.
Nagel now back on the field for Seattle.
Thumping goal kick from Ricketts. Marshall wins it. Evans forward. Obafemi Martin slightly in behind. Kaw in retreat. And it was a touch from Kaw, but judged unintentional back to Ricketts. A good recovery from Kaw.
Great ball from Evans to find Martins behind the defense.
Gaston Fernandez through a crowd. And Tristan Bowen shown a yellow card for his hard tackle on the Argentine. So emotions rising here in the 30th minute from Tucson.
As we approach the end of the first period, you might add.
Yeah, 30-minute periods. 5-minute break. They'll only switch sides after 45 minutes. Dangerous spot for a free kick. Johnson will find a good spot for it, about 25 yards out, just to the right of center. Will Johnson. Decent effort over the wall, but in the end just a bit high. And past Hahnemann's goal frame. Approaching the end of this first period, what are your observations, Matt?
Well, like you said, it's been a physical one. Nobody giving an inch, and in a lot of ways, we're seeing a little bit of that preseason rust. Timing a bit off on some of these tackles so far.
Cooper did well to win that. Past Norberto, settled by Nagby. Closing seconds of this first period from Kino Sports Complex. We'll have 1 minute of stoppage time. Kaw. Norberto. Evans back for Remick. Nagel. Good balance there from Nagel, held off Paparotto. Now it's Tristan Bowen, late surge here from the Sounders. Bowen tries his luck and kept it wide. Good last run from Seattle after 30 minutes. Scoreless from Kino Sports Complex. We'll take a 5-minute break and be back with the second period from Tucson. Welcome back to Tucson after 30 minutes. This preseason game between the Portland Timbers and Seattle Sounders. Scoreless. Alongside Matt Gash, I'm Matt Peterson. Delighted to be here.
Watch hundreds of live and archived MLS games on your phone, tablet, or computer with MLS Live. Order today to receive 20% off the regular price. Offer ends February 19th. Visit live.mlssoccer.com to subscribe.
Back underway. Teams going in the same direction for the next 15 minutes. They'll switch after 45 minutes. No real 5-minute break.
We see Jewsbury switch to the left side of the defense here for Portland. We'll give you an idea of who took his spot on the right in a moment.
Tristan Bowen leaves it for Evans. Ozzy Alonso. Traore further wide, Remick. Good work from Remick. And his delivery is a bit long. Goal kick to Portland. Looks like Rodney Wallace, the right back. That's a single two. It's Alvis Powell, I beg your pardon.
There you go.
Alvis Powell, the new right back, comes on for Yedlin. So Yedlin. Okay. Bowen trying to find Martins. Now it's a Rudy. Jack Jewsbury, Will Johnson.
One more sub out there on the right side for Portland. Up front, Shilo Shuma in for Khalif Al Hassan.
Shuma's the first-round pick by Portland this year's draft. A great career at University of Maryland.
Interesting story as well. He came to America at about 15 years old from Zimbabwe and essentially lived on his own. He had a host family, but he was as independent as he can be at that young age, and went through Maryland, played 2 years, and was a high draft pick for the Portland Timbers.
Whole discussion on the field. Gaston Fernandez and Osvaldo Alonso, two of the opponents, discussing things with the central referee. So Fernandez not waiting at all to introduce himself to the rival to the north.
Certainly enough players down in Portland who can get him up to speed on the intensity of this rivalry.
I think it started in the first half. There was the time when Traore at the end line made what looked like a pretty clean clearance, but maybe he said something. And Fernandez and Traore were jawing for about 30 seconds as they jogged back, and that sort of continued throughout. Fernandez has drawn a few fouls, but just 35 minutes into things, they're having some fun. Nagel did well to keep it in. Here comes Ricketts off his line.
Nagel took a bit of a spill there at the end of the play, but gets up and jogs back. No harm done.
Here's Kaw. Tristan Bowen, Evans, good touch from Alonso, gets it back from Evans. Alonso trying to elude Chara. Good tackling, Diego Chara chased down Ozzy Alonso, somehow wins it back. Now it's Marshall. Alvis Powell, the new right back for Portland, just 19 years of age, from Jamaica. Dylan Remick to restart here for Seattle as Chad Marshall gets forward. They've been targeting him, as you would expect, on a lot of these set pieces. Ricketts heads back towards goal, and it's a goal kick. You can hear Evans talking with Tristan Bowen, giving some instruction. Evans, the captain's armband tonight. Traore straight up in the air. Remick, smart header back towards the sideline. Now it's Alvis Powell. Paparano.
Things really starting to slow down here between those two teams after that talking to by the referee.
And Fernandez called for a foul, free kick to the Sounders. Portland has to wait until Wednesday for its next game. Seattle has a game tomorrow.
Early morning game against the Vancouver Whitecaps. Before Sounders head back to Seattle. Next up, a trip to Charleston on February 19th. They'll face the Charleston Battery, DC United, and the Houston Dynamo before getting ready for the season opener March 8th against Sporting Kansas City. Four weeks from today.
MLS Cup champions visit CenturyLink Field.
1 week later, you'll have Toronto FC playing their first match of the season. Portland also opening at home March 8th at Jeld-Wen Field against the Philadelphia Union.
A revamped Union side this offseason. More discussions between the two teams. Paparano talking with Obafemi Martins.
Martin's not happy with what he felt like was an off-the-ball foul. No whistle by the referee.
Chara wide, Dewsbury. Here's Nagbe. Gets around Yedlin. Yedlin drags him down from behind. He grabbed the shoulder. Obvious yellow card. Yedlin in the book. 41st minute.
Nagbe's used to being on the receiving end of those fouls. He's able to get behind defenders so quickly. Leaves him with no option but to pull him down.
Nagbe just leaves 3 sounders in his wake. That change of speed is so dynamic. The young talent. Here's Fernandez. Good delivery and a strong header away. Like Chad Marshall once again. He's been good in the air here in the first 45 minutes. Fernandez draws another foul. I don't think Nagel liked that. Fernandez had gone down a little easy.
These things will happen.
Kenny Cooper tracking Paparazzo. Marshall's a free man. Alonso chasing Johnson. In the end, Yedlin in a good spot to head away. 42 minutes gone, scoreless here in Tucson. Nagbe for Johnson. Alvis Powell. Good delivery, headed down, good save as the flag stayed down. Gaston Fernandez from about 6 yards away headed it right down. And a good claim, Marcus Hahnemann.
Good reaction stop there by Hahnemann. But you see the quality of Fernandez getting into that space and getting that scoring opportunity.
Nagbe trying to connect with the Rudy, just a bit heavy. Good settle from Ka. Forward towards Chara. Chara around Alonso. Here's Fernandez. Good read from Traore. Reclaimed again, but the service from Chuma in the end, not good enough. Here's Hahnemann. Alvis Powell. Now Jack Dewsbury. Good switch of field from Johnson. Great first touch. Gaston Fernandez towards the end line. Back across, but it's saved by Hahnemann. Great switch of the field by Johnson, and we've seen the skill from Fernandez with that first touch.
And Yedlin not giving up on the play, pressuring Fernandez into that low angle play across the box. Hahnemann there to smother it.
Just a bit heavy from Alonso as he tried to find Yedlin. Now it's Dewsbury.
Uncharacteristic in that play from Alonso. He led the league last year in completion percentage.
Chara, Arudi, now Nagbe. Johnson wide, Alvis Powell. Fernandez, Nagbe. Well read that time. It was Bowen stepping in front of Dewsbury. Shrewsbury kept it in. Arudi. Well-weighted ball from Shrewsbury finds Chara. Now Chara for Fernandez. Fernandez knew he'd be offside, and he leaves it. Evans slows things down. Now Yedlin. The offside flag comes up after it's flicked by Cooper.
Cooper just a touch late getting back for that ball from the left side. Still adjusting to that timing, getting used to his new teammates.
A paid attendance here at Keno Sports Complex in Tucson. 1,712. Long forward run, Alvis Powell. Falls back to Shrewsbury. So a good crowd on hand. Hundreds of miles away from Cascadia region. Here's Evans back the other way. Obafemi Martins against Shrewsbury. Evans to a good spot. Will Johnson able to clear. Yedlin for Bowen. Now Yedlin. Patient approach here from the Sounders.
Seattle had 3v2 on the side there, weren't able to get anything out of it.
Good talk from Ricketts. Reminds Shrewsbury he had time to settle. Chiore. And now Portland a chance to go the other way. Johnson. Shilo Chuma. Chuma against Remick. Remick's had a pretty good first half, Matt.
This has been so characteristic of what he's done here throughout preseason so far. Early on, you kind of chalk it up to him being a really fit guy that comes into camp ready to play from the get-go. As these games progress, though, you really have to start giving him credit for really adapting to this league and growing so much in just a year's time.
Now another yellow card shown. This time, maybe Alvis Powell?
Looked like Powell.
Yeah, Powell for Portland in the book here in the 50th minute. Probably the two clearest chances of the game, Matt Gash. You got Obafemi Martins, his pretty clear header that he put wide, and then you had on the other side Gaston Fernandez, the header that was saved by Marcus Hanneman.
Two guys that maybe you wouldn't expect to see headed goals from. Neither of them particularly big in stature, but both have shown that they're able to put the ball in the net with their heads, and neither of them able in the first period, I suppose.
Here comes Arudi. Marshall has the inside track. Yedlin. Well worked by Portland to find space for Johnson. He'll target Urruti. Just a bit off. And we mentioned fatigue a little bit in the afternoon game, Matt. It feels like the first 30 minutes, a lot more crisp, open, chances either way. This middle third has been a lot more
real choppy,
you know, errant passes, not the best soccer compared to the first 30. Evans, targeting overlapping Yedlin. Jewsbury there, now Kaw. Tristan Bowen. You can hear Nagel calling for it at the back post. Throwing here for Seattle. Kaw down inside of his own area. You see Norberto Paparazzo talking with Ricketts, discussing the communication. Now Kaw grabbing that left shoulder. Yedlin with the throw-in. Kept in play by Evans, won by Diego Chara. Dangerous pass, but it worked out for Chuma. Chara wide, Alvis Powell had a long run not 10 minutes ago. Good work from Cooper, tracking back for Seattle. Traore pressured by Fernandez, and those two get mixed up once again. It may be a preseason game, but for Gaston Fernandez, he wants to make a good positive first impression on his fans and his teammates and his club here in the first game he's ever played against Seattle.
Certainly, he's a fiery character and fits well. I've used this again and again. Teams really seem to be able to find players that fit the character of their team, and thus far, Fernandez certainly fits what they're doing in Portland.
Him and Traore have been mixing it up really since the first minute. Now, Ozzy Alonso. DeAndre Yedlin. Good ball from Bowen. Comes Evans, pushed off by Jewsbury right in front of the referee. May have gotten away with one there. Evans talks to the linesman as he jogs back. Now Cooper, wide for Evans, maybe a bit heavy. And in the end, it just crossed the byline. But Evans still looking at the linesman. It was a veteran play by Jewsbury, sort of kept it subtle with the forearm barge.
Good sequence there from Cooper and Evans as well. Cooper playing Evans up the right side. In the end, just a little too heavy for Evans to reach there.
Dewsbury, long career in Kansas City before joining Portland before their first MLS season. The original captain under John Spencer. Working here with Nagbe. Now it's Gaston Fernandez. Excellent skill from Nagbe.
Dewsbury, as we mentioned before, another player that has extended his career, kind of done what it takes to make sure that his team is successful. He started his time in Portland as a midfielder, moved to right back. Now we see him at left back here today. He's one of those players that will sacrifice his own glory, his own ego for the good of the team.
Will Johnson. Alberto Paparotto. Good work from Chuma. Alvis Powell. Good delivery. It falls to Nagbe inside the area, and the shot was deflected. Tristan Bowen in the end did enough to block it. Seattle contending it shouldn't be a corner, but it seemed to clearly go off Bowen, who did his best just to block the shot.
Again, you see the speed of Bowen there. Nagbe is getting himself into these dangerous situations, dangerous positions on the field.
And we see it once again. Chuma found Powell. A few good services from the young Jamaican here in the second half. Really good recovery.
And you see Bowen getting up from a grounded position to recover and make that deflection. Nagbe with a little bit of a slip before his shot, but in the end it goes wide.
It has been an issue here in these few days. The surface, players slipping, not the end of the world, it's preseason, but some good opportunities. See if guys losing their footing.
You'll really see that on any field where there are as many games played in a shorter period of time as there are here. And they really do a good job keeping the field up.
Beautiful facility here, Keno Sports Complex, FC Tucson, which upset Phoenix FC last year in the Open Cup, and then was able to do a few van rides over to Houston and meet the Houston Dynamo in the Open Cup. Great experience. But this facility is new. The structure that many of the fans are looking at during parts of the game, constructed in the last year. But they've carved out a nice niche here in a very crowded preseason marketplace with a lot of cities wanting to host 19 teams.
And you see a lot of repeat customers, I'll say. They're teams that come here really enjoy their time, really like the facilities, like the hotels in the area. Good opportunity for fans to come down and watch their teams train and play these games as well.
So it looked like Bowen had to go off at the end line. Here's the service, Gaston Fernandez. Helped on by Ka. Back to Chara. Dewsbury at the back for the Timbers. Another marauding run forward from Alvis Powell. And then you see a young player, right? A lot of athleticism, does so much right, and then probably the most simple part of it, the switching ball. Couldn't connect with the Rudy.
Talented young player with a bright future. Much like they have Seattle in that right back position.
Kyle working with Paparazzo. Now it's Will Johnson. "60 minutes gone from Tucson. Scoreless between these rivals. Johnson against Evans. Thumping header from Marshall.
That's not a collision he's going to lose often.
Yeah, he really made your Rudy feel it. Good settle from Brad Evans. And now we'll have the end of the second period. 60 minutes gone from Keno Sports Complex. A few exchanges from certain players. Many of these players will be off after 60 minutes. General thoughts, Matt Gashk, on the first hour here in Tucson?
Well, as we said earlier, the first half hour, there was much better soccer being played. Good back and forth between the two teams. Second half hour, maybe it's fatigue, maybe it's some of that chippiness coming into play, but much more choppy second period there. We'll see what happens in the third, as I'm guessing both teams are going to bring completely different lineups out onto the field.
We will take a 5-minute break, try to sort out the substitution. Stay with us. A half hour to go between Portland and Seattle. Scoreless from Tucson here on MLSsoccer.com. Welcome back to Tucson, set for the third and final period. Portland and Seattle scoreless after the first hour. My pleasure to welcome to the booth Chris Keeney, an owner with FC Tucson. Chris, welcome.
Hey, thanks very much. Great to be here, and beautiful night here in Tucson.
We mentioned it earlier, over 1,700 fans in attendance. We're not even at the Desert Diamond Cup yet. We're still at sort of the friendly portion. I'm sure you're pretty excited about this turnout here tonight.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, having this brand new stadium, having a place to showcase MLS, and at some point in our FC Tucson, even playing in the FC Tucson Desert Diamond Cup, we're very privileged.
So much growth going on at the lower levels of American soccer. A lot of ambition from USL clubs, NASL clubs to join MLS. What about you? You're at the PDL level. Had a great run in the U.S. Open Cup last year, upsetting Phoenix FC and making a trip to BBVA Compass Stadium to play the Houston Dynamo. But what about, this is just maybe the early stages of what you guys want to do.
Well, you know what, you're thinking on the same pathway that we are. We love our PDL team, and we love our brand, and we love our fans, and as long as we can keep growing, we'll keep trying to reach for more and more events and more a higher level of the game.
Great weather this week, and Desert Diamond Cup coming up in about a week's time.
That's right. The 19th we start triple headers on every single night. It's almost an overdose of soccer, which is wonderful. We've got Chicago, Colorado, Chivas USA, New England Revolution, and FC Tucson's in it. So it's smorgasbord of soccer.
Here at midfield, very active. A substitute, Shilo Chuma for Portland. Scoreless game, some substitutions made. We'll get those to you shortly, but I'm still joined by Chris Keeney, an owner with FC Tucson, the host of this tournament. And this is year one of what I understand is a 3-year partnership with Major League Soccer.
Right. We started off having great relationships with the teams, and we kept, making sure that the weather was good, the fields are great, and just keep bringing more fans. And because of that momentum, we were able to start a relationship with Major League Soccer and get an agreement going to be the official Western hub of Preseason. And that's a huge badge of honor for us, and something we can grow. And as you can see in the stands, there's a lot of fans from Portland, a lot of fans from Seattle here making the noise and giving us the first glimpse of the Cascadia Cup. And it's something that we want to define further and further, and welcome everybody here to Tucson when the rest of the country is pretty cold.
That was David Estrada making a run forward for Seattle. Now Portland back in possession with Ka. Me and Matt were talking about one thing we love about these tournaments and preseason in general, what you can see and hear, right? You can hear the communication on the field. You have fans 5 feet from the bench getting autographs. Discuss that a little bit, just the intimacy and benefit for fans that might be considering a trip next year.
Well, that's it. I mean, you're right on top of it. And what's great about Major League Soccer is that the players have always been down-to-earth, great people, and very willing, very giving. And you can get out here and warm up a bit and see them right up close. And it is a level of intimacy that I don't think can be duplicated in sports, at least certain other sports leagues. It's just not possible.
Throw in on the far side. Portland attacking towards what would be the north goal. They switched after the 60 minutes. Hard tackle there. And now another scrum as the new batch of players comes on and joins into the fray. I've noticed it, Chris Keeney, just year to year. We were here last year, and obviously this facility wasn't completed, but buzz-wise, attendance-wise, just the whole feel around town is different just 2 years on.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you're saying that, and it means a lot when you have been and seen the progress. And we were very proud of the field just across the way there, but this is so much better, and it's such a defined soccer stadium, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? I mean, that's why MLS has grown so much in its own facilities. And there is a vibe, there is a buzz, and it palpitates, and it's what's happening across the country. I mean, for soccer and particularly for Major League Soccer.
65th minute, scoreless, joined here by Chris Keeney. How about that run by FC Tucson last year in the Open Cup, sort of upsetting the in-state rival Phoenix FC?
Yeah, well, that was a big night for us, and they're one level higher at USL Pro, and so to beat them was not only a professional pride, it was also a city pride, because both cities, kind of like Seattle and Portland, really don't care for each other. And it was nice to put that on the field and show some grit here and do it here. And the fans were, incredibly in love with it. And then we did get a chance to go and play the San Antonio Scorpions of the NSL. We were able to beat them in PKs, and then had the high honor of going to BBVA Compass and holding our own, I will say. 2-0 loss to the great Dynamo, but I think we showed well.
Absolutely. Elvis Powell here for Portland. A great run, too long. Well, the first you had to do a bus trip or a van trip to San Antonio, but then for the Houston trip, you guys took planes, right?
Yeah, we coach, and my partner Rick Shantz, he convinced us that there's no way to drive that far, especially when you're going every other Tuesday and you're still trying to play your regular season.
Yep.
And the guys had earned it, so we dug into the pockets a little bit to make sure we could give them the best chance to perform, and what a great investment that really was.
Some fun moments. Day of game, guys were so excited, playing on a lawn in downtown Houston. We're kind of told to get off the lawn, so some kind of fun. They're college kids having fun with it.
Yeah, it's somewhere one of those big energy companies didn't like anybody being on their beautiful grass, so it's kind of weird. But you know what? The trip to Houston was so much memory. It's made so many memories for those players, and there's player Aaron Long, who's trying to make Portland tonight. He was on that trip, and he's representing in FC Tucson and his college, and now trying to make the Timbers.
So courtesy of Matt Gash, we can tell you the updated lineups for Seattle. You have Zavaleta and Estrada now up front, from left to right. Across the midfields, Cato, Kasky, Pareva, and Gonzalez. And we'll get to the rest in a moment. As this group gets a half hour to show themselves. So what do you see as the future for this tournament, Chris? Just more and more growth and continuing to build the buzz here in Southern Arizona?
We've got such great partners, like we said, with Major League Soccer and this new relationship, and the county, Pima County, is the one who's really believes in the game and believes in FC Tucson's, which makes it possible to have these fields and makes it possible to have the stadium. Obviously, a lot of great corporate partners, all the fans. I have to give a shout out to the Cactus Pricks. They are my supporter group, and they're becoming legendary of their own. So all I see is growth. All I see is a lot of great soccer action, and providing Major League Soccer a way to get prepared for the regular season, and that's really the whole point of this.
Well, Chris, thanks a lot for your time. Thanks for joining us tonight, and great hospitality all week.
Yeah, thanks, you guys. Great to see you again.
That's Chris Keeney, a owner with FC Tucson, the host of this tournament. And as he said, don't be afraid to come on down in future seasons. It's a great way to see your team up close and really see the soccer from a different angle. Big service from Estrada at the back post. Chance here for Seattle. Powell there to recover. Seattle still on the front foot. Serve towards the back post. And through a crowd, it'll go out for a goal kick. I'd like to welcome back Matt Gash, sorting out the lineups after the second intermission, as if you will.
Yeah, a lot of changes on both sides. A lot of maybe unrecognizable names in that mix. DeAndre Yedlin and Chad Marshall staying in the match for Seattle. Among the highlights, though, Fabio Pereira in the middle of midfield. He was the last player taken in the Super Draft this year. He's really shown some good quality here early. Kid from Brazil who came up at a young age as well, 15, 16 years old, to pursue a
keep pursuing soccer while continuing his education. Went to a prep school in Connecticut. From there, he went to the University of Michigan, where he was a standout, and now he's here in camp with the Sounders, hoping to catch on, and he's done well so far in camp. Michael Azira coming in for DeAndre Yedlin. Azira played last year with the Charleston Battery. Another in a stream of players coming out of that organization.
Here's the service. Michael Nanchoff headed on, and Hahnemann there to claim. Good service from Nanchoff. Nanchoff through the middle. Villafana. There's Ben Zemansky. Did enough to keep it alive for Portland. Villafana.
Good effort there from Picquion, stopped by Tarek Morad. Undrafted player coming out of college and looking to catch on in Seattle.
Footy Danzo. Good ball from Zemansky, but in the end just a bit heavy, and it's a Seattle throw.
Morad played collegiately at UC Irvine, alma mater of Brad Evans.
Very good soccer conference, the Big West.
Another local there, Andrew Weber. Spent a lot of his youth in the Phoenix area. Played last year for Phoenix FC before coming to Seattle on loan and late in the season.
Jorge Villafana, formerly Chivas USA. Picquion gains a throw in for Portland. Still scoreless, 74th minutes. Portland and Seattle. And the offside flag came up. Smart back line from Seattle. You see Chad Marshall. A clap for his back line. Alert there to get up and make the thrower offside on the return ball.
Combined, the back four have 10 years of MLS experience. All of it in Chad Marshall. Seattle face their rivals to the north, the Vancouver Whitecaps, tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Streaming here on MLSsoccer.com. Looks like Jaleel Andy Baba on for Chad Marshall to finish out the last 15 minutes of this one.
Big serve towards the back post. Good delivery, punched away by Weber. There's Alvis Powell, another long run over midfield. In the end, he draws a foul. Not afraid to get forward, Alvis Powell. Villafaña. Good skill from Nanchoff. Szymanski. Tries his luck, but it's high and wide. Sort of the feel of a U23 game right now with these squads. A few outliers, but for the most part.
Marcus Hahnemann is flattered.
Still going strong at 41 years young. Hard collision there. Szymanski down behind the play. Sort of an awkward challenge from Szymanski.
Yeah, collision with Jenin Katic, Bosnian, who played at Davenport University in Michigan, maybe? I don't know where it is. I have no idea.
Four corners somewhere?
He played 1 year there. He's a very talented player, though, playing in the midfield.
Szymanski back on his feet, obviously a good sign. The trainer will stay near the Portland technical area. Footy Danzo. Picayune. Here's Michael Nanchoff. Estrada, good service. Smart play there, back for Estrada in the area. great start to the 2012 season.
He did 5 goals, got a hat trick against Toronto FC. Also scored against Santos Laguna in Champions League. Then a broken foot kind of derailed his season, and he wasn't able to get back into the mix for a starting position.
Villafaña with a deflected service claimed by Hahnemann. Good win in the air, Rashawn McKenzie over Zavaleta. Now Zemansky moving okay after his collision a few minutes ago. Villafaña and Nanchoff. Now Danso will be booked after taking down Estrada.
Estrada really showing his work right there. He's a gnat out there a little bit. He just kind of jumps around and gets himself into tough positions. One of the fittest guys you'll see on a soccer field. Perpetual motion, David Estrada.
Does this game have a goal in it? 9 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. There's Jalilani Baba. Played every minute of every game last year with Chicago. One of 4 or 5 players, outfield players in the league to do so. He and Austin Berry, I believe, with the Fire.
Mostly as a right back with Chicago, but they envision him playing a center back role here in Seattle. A little bit of insurance in case DeAndre Yedlin does get the call to the national team and any more opportunities.
And now a Seattle corner kick.
Aaron Kovar heading to the far side to take this. He's a left midfielder. He came in as a homegrown player out of Stanford. They have him playing left back today. A little thin at that position, and really he could use a little bit of work on the defensive side. So it's a good opportunity for him to learn at a position that you could say he's out of position, but benefits him in the long run.
There's the service. Weber just got a punch on it, somehow through a crowd. Now Villafaña plays the safe ball out for a Seattle throw-in. Lost by Powell. Estrada in the area. Does well to keep it. Bad service from Weber. Now Seattle back the other way. Opportunity and a big block in the end. Served back in once again. Good clearance with Sean McKenzie. Saving his goalkeeper Weber. '86th minute from Tucson. And now Zemanski walking off. He took his knock about 15 minutes ago, and now probably the safe bet just to call it a night. Zemanski, of course, another Akron product, playing under Caleb Porter. See who comes on for Zemanski. Aaron Long. So the aforementioned Aaron Long, product of FC Tucson. And here he is on the ball through the middle of the field. A little too much excitement there as he searched for Villafana.
Long gets a nice ovation from the crowd there. And one boo.
Estrada not giving up on it. Danzo did. And in the end, Danzo able to recover. But for a moment there, it seemed like Estrada may have taken advantage.
Danzo, very good recovery speed. Played forward in college. Came to Seattle for training camp in 2009. Still adjusting to that defensive role, though, in 2009. Wasn't able to stick. Went down to Portland, played on the USL team for 2 years. Here he is now in his 4th season in Major League Soccer.
It's interesting to watch the difference, Matt, in just the first group for 60 minutes and this youthful group. A lot of youthful exuberance, a lot of guys with good intentions and athleticism, but
the quality is a little lacking.
Yeah, I guess it's just not as refined. You know,
Right.
it's they want to try so hard. It's almost trying too hard to make it work.
And you'll find the coaches what they'll tell these players when they come out here is to do what you do, play your game, because that's the reason we put you out there on the field. Is we believe that your game, the way you play it, will get you where you need to be. Sometimes you don't need that extra effort. Sometimes you just need to do what got you here.
Good overlapping run. Seattle maintains possession here. So we enter the 90th minute from Keno Sports Complex. Good work from Anchoff. Over the top, Picayune. Here comes Hahnemann off his line. It's past Hahnemann. Picayune, open net, and a huge save. Jalil Anibaba. So the incoming center back from Chicago helping out the veteran Marcus Hahnemann, who came off his line, misread it. And a huge moment for the new Sounder. Would have been a tough way to lose a game for Seattle in that fashion with the veteran goalkeeper, but Anibaba very excited for the moment he just had. And there's the full-time whistle. So that would have been a very interesting, unique way to end the game. Picayune a good chance. Hit it well, but an athletic save as we watch the replay.
Ball just bounces right over Hahnemann's head. Great game-saving stop there for Jaleel Anibaba.
And then a fun hug afterwards for Picayune. But you can tell, right? He's traded from Chicago, comes over, he knows about the rivalry, and perhaps for those watching, maybe an extra cheer for Anibaba for avoiding a loss to the rivals to the south.
And he'll probably get rewarded by 60 minutes tomorrow against the Vancouver Whitecaps. Great effort though from Jaleel Anibaba. He's played very well as well in the first 2 preseason games and in this 15 minutes tonight. Solid performance, and he shows a lot of the qualities. He's got the speed, he's got the defensive presence, the awareness, the knowledge of the players he's going against. Real strong early going for Jaleel Anibaba, and he's a young player as well.
We should mention, I think the ball over the top that set up that play, Michael Nanchoff, a crafty ball, forced Hahnemann off his line, really almost set up a game-winning goal, but in the end, Anibaba made the play.
Yeah, very similar to the one that Donovan Ricketts came out on earlier in the game, to a slightly different result. But a good way to finish this game nonetheless. You know, you're always going to have a little bit of drama when these two teams play. Sure enough, Jaleel Anibaba is introduced early to what this rivalry means.
A lot of fun this afternoon. 2 games in the books. The Houston Dynamo, they beat San Jose 3-1 in the early game. The night game ends scoreless between 2 rivals, Portland and Seattle, but they'll have 3 times in the regular season, perhaps another meeting or 2 in the postseason.
And the Open Cup as well. They've had a few meetings in that tournament, but 2 meetings down in Portland at Geldwine Field, 1 in Seattle at CenturyLink. It's going to be an adventure and one that we're certainly looking forward to, and we'll get things going here in just a month.
The next broadcaster on MLSsoccer.com is tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Central Time. Another Cascadia tie. It's the Vancouver Whitecaps meeting Seattle Sounders, 11 o'clock Central Time. So would you guess a lot of the guys didn't get a lot of minutes? You know,
Yeah.
Just about 12 hours from now, we'll probably start the game.
Yeah, a good majority of them. You'll see, I'm sure Jaleel Anibaba. I think they're looking to push Stephen Fry into that game as well. There's going to be a few other players that are going to get those opportunities, and we'll have it right here on MLSsoccer.com.
All right, well, thank you for Matt Gashk. My name is Matt Peterson, and everyone who made the broadcast possible. Thank you for listening and watching. Final score from Keno Sports Complex. It's the Portland Timbers 0 and Seattle Sounders 0.